Yo, Wagwan, it is your boy, your homie, Believe in Steven with.
Sean Cross, everybody, how's it going?
And in today's video, we're going to be going over the Bill Cosby situation and how that man was freed recently. But before we get into it, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button, and the bell so you're notified when we're dropping more content. And without further ado, let's hop into the subject. So recently, Bill Cosby was freed from prison after some situations that happened. And the situations that happened is that a couple years ago, he made a confession of the things that he's done, and he was supposed to get immunity from it with the past DA. And what happened is a new DA came in, and they wanted to prosecute him for the actions that he has done. Well, in doing that, they broke the Fifth Amendment, and although he got 2 years, he was freed because the Supreme Court of Pennsylvania, if I'm not mistaken, overturned his current case that was going on, right? Mm-hmm. And he was able to be released, and they're gonna go after the people who prosecuted him. So that's pretty much the whole situation going on with Bill Cosby, because he'd been released for about a week now. He did a first day out, so he was eating pizza and all that stuff, trying to enjoy life, I guess. 83 years old, currently blind, apparently. Mm-hmm. And all of those great things are good things or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, a lot of people are not happy with this situation that has happened because a lot of people believe he deserves to stay in prison. And you can't blame anybody but the prosecutors who handled the situation very poorly, because if they did their research and their due diligence, maybe it would have been a different situation. But as far as I know, they needed a lot more evidence, so they couldn't convict him back then. That's why all they wanted was a confession out of him and granted him immunity, because stuff like that doesn't really happen. It normally happens with like white collar things, such as like tax evasion and things like that. But the seat in this case is a rarity. But they just wanted his confession to prove that he's done these stuff, although they didn't have hard evidence to really put him away for long. Or they would have done it back in 05 when all of this thing was brought up. But they messed up. He's able to come out and live his final years out of jail.
Yeah.
And what do you think about this whole situation?
Well, when I saw the video, man, he looked like he was like 1 or 2 years away from death. Like I'm gonna say it out there, that man. Also in the video, didn't even speak a word. He was just silent the whole thing. You know, everybody was trying to protect him. Everybody was trying to say, he's free. We won against the prosecution. You know, they didn't have any hard evidence. Me, I really don't, get into those type of situations, especially with Bill Cosby, because I was a kid when that thing came up, and I think it was 08 or 05.
05, yeah.
05. Mm-hmm. When that thing came out. Believe it or not, I really don't even know much about Bill Cosby, especially with these type of situations. I only remember Bill Cosby about one of the only reason I know about Bill Cosby is because I was watching The Simpsons, and one of the episodes was coming out, and Homer was neglecting his son Bart, and they gave him a book about Bill Cosby, the book about parenting by Bill Cosby. Mm-hmm. And that's how I figured out, what type of person Bill Cosby was, what shows he did. But when this came out, they released him. What I will know for the rest of my life is that even if I see him to this day, like if I saw him today, my mind will never be the same. My mind would not think, oh, this guy was free, this man was free, he was, the prosecution. My mind will always keep stuck in my head. This was the guy who they blamed that they raped him, and maybe he did rape him. Mm-hmm. And by that stain on his mark, on his life, for the rest of his life, that it would always be there. I didn't even know he was in the Navy. I just realized that he was in the Navy when I saw the video, that he was in the Navy, that he was partially blind. I just realized that, but nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about he was in the Navy, this and that. It's because that stain on him, even if he didn't do it, I don't know much about that. That stain will always be there. And that's something that, if anybody's going to take anything out of this, first of all, learn your rights, learn your amendments. That's the first thing out here. Learn your amendments, learn what you can do if things like this come out. And the
Mm-hmm.
second thing is know how bad it is when you report something to somebody, like how bad things can actually be, even if it's rape, murder, those type of stuff. When you report them, know the weight that it takes in you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not saying that you shouldn't report it. If it happened, go report it. 100%. But know what the consequences are later on in life.
Yeah.
How it will affect that person, how it will affect you, how it will affect the community, the society, what type of stain that's gonna mark on your reputation, on everybody else's reputation, on the people, their family members, so on and so forth. Because this is not just I reported it, we did a speedy trial, and it wasn't even a speedy trial. This
Mm-mm.
took it's from
From
2005.
2018. Well, it started in 05, but the
Mhm.
whole jail thing started in 2018. He did 2 or 3 years behind
Exactly.
bars. Yeah.
Exactly. All that time with the sexual assault, the police making him confess, pushing his fifth amendment. He could have said I played the fifth, but he was just, he just started talking, and they
Mm-hmm.
gave him immunity. This whole mess happened by you know by a whole bunch of women saying that they raped him, and maybe
And
they
guys, if you didn't know, 60 women came out saying
60
that
women.
he raped them from starting from 1965 to '08, if I'm not mistaken, which is a very long period of time.
Hmm.
Or yeah, to be, but you know, uh, I guess what I want to say too is going off what Sean was saying is you do so many great things, in terms of like the show and having all of these accomplishments and achievements and all of those things just to have that stain on your legacy. Because I know a lot of old timers might see him as this a great comedian back then, all that. All of us, we're all gonna just see him as this rapist who pretty much just drugged women and had sex with them without them knowing, or just forcing them and all of that stuff. That is just going to be with you forever. Even after you're dead, people are going to remember you just for that. So you have to be very cautious in certain things that you do and be mindful so you don't do stupid stuff like that, because you can really damage people and you can end up being damaged from that. So just be smart with it and be the best person you can be by spreading positivity and
Hmm.
all of those things like that. But
No, no one's above the law. No matter how much you do, no matter how much money you have, no matter how popular you are, no matter how big
mm-hmm,
your legacy is, no one's above the law. Sooner or later, the truth is going to come out, and I still believe that. I firmly believe that the truth is always going to come out sooner or later. But I'm just saying that those type of things, those type of situations like rape, murder, anything that is harmful to the community, harmful to your family, harmful to yourself, those those are big stains. Those are huge, enormous stains.
mm-hmm,
Those don't wipe away easily, or ever.
mm-hmm,
Sometimes those type of stains don't ever wipe off of history, never. So I always try to say, be careful with what you do, no matter how much money you have, no matter how powerful you are, no matter what position you are in. Always be careful. Always know what the right thing is. Always know them. Always know what you can do that's right. Always know what the right thing to do is, what's the correct thing to do is. And last but not least, know your rights. Know what's the law. Know what you're getting yourself into and how you can defend yourself if things become pretty bad.
yep,
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm seeing here. I've never seen not even one episode of his shows. I've never even know much about him. I barely know anything about him, and seeing this, just me, just seeing what's happening, that they let him free, and me seeing how he was, the sexual assaults that he did, and the sexual harassments, and all the bad things that he did. My mind will always stay that he was a rapist. Even if he did it, even if he didn't do it, it's a mark in my head that's always going to be there.
yep.
And you
And
should.
again, if you guys are totally upset that he's free and walking, out here and all of those things, you got to blame the prosecutors and stuff like that, because they really fumbled the bag with this. Honestly, you can't blame Sean and I for saying what we got to say, because again, it's them who really messed this up. So
yeah.
Do you got anything else to say, bro?
Know your rights, man, and know what's good in life. Know what the right thing to do. And I'm just gonna repeat the same thing. It's that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah, know your rights, guys. But without further ado, this is the end of the video. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, the like button, and the bell so you're notified when we're dropping more content. And make sure you guys put in the comments below what you guys want us to watch next. I know there's a lot of things being put out there that is very popping right now. So if you guys want us to just go over those things like Britney Spears or anything, for example, just put it in the comments below, because we read your comments and we really want to know how you guys are feeling. But without further ado, it's Sean, it's me, Believe in Steven, signing out, man. We'll catch you in the next vid, guys. Peace.
Peace.